You're scrolling, drifting through the endless static of the algorithm, waiting for the signal to cut through the noise. Consider, if you will, that you just found the frequency. You've just stepped off the timeline of the everyday, into the space where the forgotten history and the hidden truths finally touch down. There's the story you know, and then there's the airspace we're about to enter. Check your coordinates, because you're heading towards the landing point. Welcome back, friends. Today's story. Lazy? Maybe. He was a brilliant young man, but frankly, he was bored. Growing up, his father wanted him to study medicine, but he preferred mathematics. He ended up at Oxford studying physics, but he found the work ridiculously easy. In fact, he later calculated that during his entire 3 years and as an undergrad, he only studied about 1,000 hours. That's roughly an hour a day. He spent more time coaxing for the rowing team and attending parties than he did hitting the books. He had a brilliant mind, but absolutely no drive. Life was a breeze, until suddenly it wasn't. During his final year at Oxford, the young man started getting clumsy. He tripped and fell down a flight of stairs. He started slurring his words. He just chalked it up to being careless, or maybe partying a little too hard. But when he went home for Christmas, his family noticed. They sent him to a doctor, and shortly after his 21st birthday, after 2 grueling weeks in the hospital undergoing tests, the doctors delivered a death sentence. It's a rare, incurable motor neuron disease. His muscles would waste away. He would lose the ability to walk, to write, to swallow, and to speak. The doctors told him to get his affairs in order. They gave him 2, maybe 3 years to live. You would expect a young man, previously bored with his life, now facing an imminent, agonizing end, to just give up. And for a short while, he did. He locked himself in his room, listening to booming, tragic operas of Richard Wagner, and prepared for the end. But then something strange happened. The ticking clock didn't paralyze him, it woke him up. He later said that before the diagnosis, he didn't know what to do with his life. But suddenly, faced with the prospect of an early death, he realized there were things he actually wanted to accomplish. He also met a young woman named Jane, and they fell in love. If he wanted to marry her, he needed a job. If he wanted a job, he needed to finish his PhD. So for the first time in his life, the young man went to work. As his physical body deteriorated, as he was stripped of his ability to walk, to hold a pen, and eventually to use his own voice, his mind forced him to roam free. Untethered from the failing shell of his body, his intellect soared to the very edges of the universe. Unable to write complex equations on a chalkboard, he developed a unique way of visualizing problems in geometry and physics entirely with his own mind. The man who was given 2 years to live at age 21 didn't just survive, he lived until age 76. He was entirely paralyzed and spoke through a computerized voice synthesizer. Yet, he became one of the most famous, best-selling, and widely recognized scientific communicators in human history. He completely revolutionized our understanding of black holes, relativity, and the origins of time itself. The tragic diagnosis that was supposed to end his life was the very thing that gave him the drive to change the world. His name, of course, is Stephen Hawking. And whether you realize it or not, this is The Landing Point. Viewers, thank you for watching today, The Landing Point. We really appreciate it. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Roadrunner Real Estate. They are a full-service real estate company doing both commercial and residential real estate. They can help you buy, sell, or even lease your properties. So if you're in the market looking for a real estate company, please go out and give them a call. They'll happily help you today. The next thing I'd like to talk about is our social media. Obviously, we have YouTube if you're watching that today. If you haven't done so already, please go out and subscribe. It is completely free to you. There's nothing that you'll be charged or your membership fees, but it does help us out so we can get our latest episodes to you quickly, and you can find out what's going on with YouTube. Our other place that we do a lot of our social media is on our Facebook page, The Landing Point. So please go out and like and subscribe or follow those, I guess I would say, so you get the latest updates. If you're a person that likes to listen to stories as you're out on the drive, we have our podcast. You can find The Landing Point out there, and it can be on most services. So once again, thank you for watching The Landing Point, and we look forward to see you on our next story.